Money talks in football, and in 2026, it's talking louder than ever. From Saudi Arabia's billion-dollar revolution to Messi's business empire in Miami, football's biggest stars are earning amounts that most clubs could only dream of. So today, we're counting down the top 10 highest-paid footballers in the world in 2026. And keep watching till the end because the gap between number 1 and everyone else is insane. Let's get started. Number 10. Harry Kane. Harry Kane has spent his entire career proving people wrong. First at Tottenham, then at Bayern Munich. And now he's become the highest paid footballer in Bundesliga history. With annual earnings estimated between $35 and $40 million, Kane is finally getting rewarded like the elite striker he is. But what makes Kane different is that his money isn't based on flashy sponsorships or social media fame. It includes add-ons based on goal scoring metrics. So the more he scores, the more he earns. And after finally winning major trophies with Bayern, his value has never been higher. Not bad for a player people once called the trophyless striker. Number 9. Kalidou Koulibaly. Defenders rarely appear on rich lists, but Kalidou Koulibaly isn't a normal defender. After moving to Saudi Arabia, the Senegalese giant became one of the highest paid defenders football has ever seen. His earning now exceeds $50 million annually. And honestly, it shows just how much Saudi clubs are willing to spend to attract world-class talent. For years, Kalidou Koulibaly was one of the toughest defenders in the world, and now he's one of the richest too. Number 8. Sadio Mané. Few footballers are as respected as Sadio Mané. Humble, hardworking, and absolutely impressive. After years of success with Liverpool, Mané joined Al Nassr and saw his earnings explode. Today, he's making around $61 million per year. But unlike many other superstars, Mané's story isn't really about luxury. He's famous for helping communities, building schools, and funding hospitals back home. Which means, while earning millions, he's also changing thousands of lives. Number 7. Vinícius Jr. Vini Jr. isn't just one of the best players in the world, he's becoming one of the biggest brands in football. The Brazilian superstar has transformed from an exciting youngster into Real Madrid's main man. His speed is terrifying, his confidence is unstoppable. And defenders still have nightmares about trying to stop him one-on-one. With earnings around $60 million annually, Vinicius is proving that talent and marketability are a dangerous combination. And considering he's still in his prime, this is probably only the beginning. Number 6. Riyad Mahrez. When Riyad Mahrez left Europe, many thought he was walking away from the spotlight. Instead, he walked into one of the biggest contracts in football. The Algerian magician now earns close to $79 million per year, and honestly, he deserves respect. This is a player who went from the English Championship to winning the Premier League, the Champions League, and becoming one of Africa's greatest footballers. His journey is one of football's greatest underdog stories, and now it's paying off in a massive way. But before we continue, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Number 5. Erling Haaland. When we talk about goals, Haaland comes quickly to mind. The Norwegian machine has become Manchester City's ultimate weapon. He's fast, powerful, and once he gets near the goal, it's usually over. His earnings are estimated at around $80 million annually. But what's scary is that many of his bonuses depend on goal and performances. And if there is one thing Haaland loves, it's scoring goals, which means his income could keep rising for years to come. Number 4. Kylian Mbappé. For years, football fans debated one question: where would Mbappé go next? Now we have the answer. Real Madrid. The dream move finally happened. And with it came one of the biggest contracts in world football. Mbappé is earning around $95 million per year. But here's what's fascinating. A huge part of his value isn't just football, it's his image, luxury brand, sponsors, and even advertisers. Because Mbappé isn't just a footballer anymore, he's becoming a global icon. Number 3. Karim Benzema. Karim spent years living in Cristiano Ronaldo's shadow. Then he stepped out of it and conquered football. Ballon d'Or winner, Champions League legend, and now one of the richest players on the planet. His earnings sit at around $104 million annually. At an age where many players are slowing down, Benzema is still collecting trophies and enormous paychecks. And honestly, after everything he achieved in Europe, you can understand why Saudi clubs were willing to pay almost anything to bring him in. Number 2. Lionel Messi. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because Lionel Messi isn't number 2 because of salary. He's number 2 because he's built an empire. The Argentine genius earns around $140 million annually. But unlike most players, his earning comes from everywhere. Adidas, Apple, commercial partnerships, business investments, and even ownership's opportunity. Messi's move to Inter Miami isn't just a football decision, it's a masterclass investment. While other players chase bigger salaries, Messi is building long-term wealth, which is why even at this stage of his career, he's still one of the richest athletes on the planet. But still, nobody comes close to number 1. Number 1. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo is by far the highest paid footballer in the world. His earnings are estimated at an unbelievable $300 million per year. Think about it carefully, 300 million. That's more than double what Messi earns, more than triple most players on this list. And honestly, it makes sense, because Ronaldo isn't just a footballer, he's a global brand. His CR7 empire stretches across fashion, fitness, hotels, social media, sponsorships, and much more. And on top of that, he's still scoring goals, still breaking records, and still attracting fans all over the world. At 41 years old, most players are retired, but Cristiano Ronaldo is making more money than ever, which is exactly why he sits comfortably at number 1. From Harry Kane's Bundesliga record contract to Messi's business empire and Ronaldo's $300 million fortune, one thing is clear: football has changed forever.
Le football, il a changé.
The biggest stars aren't just athletes anymore, they're global businesses. But here's my question for you: if you're a footballer, would you choose Ronaldo's Saudi salary or Messi's long-term business investment? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more football content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!